It's me, San, back again for another lesson for you. Today we're going to be learning how to fly around, So I think to start off, when you're new, you're walking around, you're like, well, geez, I have these hooks, right? I don't know where to put them. I don't know how to fly around, you know. Here's what we're going to do, all right? I'm going to open my little settings here. Now, my settings aren't exactly the most traditional, and I better get away because this guy's after me. Now, my settings aren't exactly traditional, but, if you'll see here in keybinds, right, human, you'll see I actually have, what's going to be important for this video, right, your left and right hook, I have as Q and E, my spacebar is actually my hook for both, you can change that if you want, and my reel in is actually mapped to my attack button, which is mouse 0, and my reel out is wheel down, but we won't be getting into that today. As well as, I believe the dodge is going to be also the gas burst, which I'll mention in a little bit, but that's not, we're doing the basics right now, alright? And so, a big part of getting around, is going to be using the hooks. So you want to be hooking on to objects, right? And while you're hooking on to stuff, right, that kind of moved me a little bit, you actually want to be using your gas. You want to move around with the gas. So, you want to keep holding on that gas button, which is also it's just a jump button, right? So you want to fly with the gas, you can really get some distance there, right? And you want to be hooking on to the sides of buildings, like the roof, right? And you can swing around just like that, swing around, especially these pillars. A really good tip is to fly around these pillars, you just keep on hooking onto the pillars, yeah, that's kind of how you start moving around like that. As well as, now with the both hooks, when you start using both hooks, right, you can hook onto, it's a little, I think it's a little bit of extra force. I'm not really, there's scenarios in which, right here, right, that kind of you can kind of hook in between these buildings here. It's also good for slowing, putting you on the ground as well, I've found. Using both hooks is a very, quite the big role in, moving around. Yeah, but it's not something you always need to keep in mind. You can also mix up Q and E. You can put a hook there, put a hook here. All of a sudden I'm in between some buildings. If you want to do some bungee jumping, yeah, that's kind of how you move around. There's also another step to this. When you're swinging around, right? There's the reel in button. Now, this is where some other players might be like, oh, you can't do that. I actually have it mapped to my attack button, right? So, reeling in is very important to, let me give a good example here. So, I want to get up there, but if I were to just do that, I'm not going there. That's not very fast, But if I have my reel in on, right, I can just reel myself right through that. It's mostly important when you're trying to get onto Titans, right? When you're reeling into Titans, I can just hold my attack button and reel straight into their napes. It's really simple. It's really easy. Looks like there's a bunch of Titans here. Let me take care of them. Uh-oh. Don't want to get grabbed here. That would be embarrassing. Let me just move. They're quite small. I'll make another video for how to attack the Titans later. Different types of Titans, like small Titans crawlers. That's in the next video. Oh, and then there's Gas Burst, alright? So Gas Burst, just an extra bit of speed. It's, important when you're trying to get to, high skill levels of movement. But, you don't need to worry about it as a beginner. All you really need to know is about the reel-in. The reel-in is very important to, securing that kill, as well as, moving around the city, a little faster. With let me give you another example with the reel-in. If I were to I'm swinging around this pole and I'm like, oh, I gotta get over there. You reel yourself in, you reel in, you build up so much speed this way. It's very important. Yeah, so that's how you do all that. I've been Sanchan. You just learned another lesson, another trivia game lesson. Thank you, and then have a beautiful, wonderful day.
I have a vision. that you'll like and subscribe the video. Thanks for watching everyone. Shulk Gaming out.